Episode 39. This is the Inside Deschutes County podcast. It's available everywhere. Subscribe on any podcast platform. You can also find us on deschutes.org/podcast.
Deschutes County is an amazing place to live, work, and play.
Great place to raise a family.
I love the weather and the high desert.
At Deschutes County, we provide excellent service.
Beautiful.
We're here to help you.
Deschutes County is the heart of Oregon.
Everyone wants to be here.
Well, we're pleased to welcome Veterans Services Officer A.J. Middleton to this episode of Inside Deschutes County.
Hello, hello.
A.J., thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
You're sporting the U of O shirt.
Yeah, it's number one team in the country. Why would you not?
I mean, I guess we can. I went to Wazoo, so we can hate
not
on
everybody makes the right
University of
decisions.
Washington together.
Not everybody makes the right decision, but it's okay. There's still time.
I'm sure it's a busy time of year for you. Veterans
Yeah.
Day coming up right around the corner.
It's Monday.
Wanted to take some time, chat with you about, supporting veterans, not just on that day, but year-round.
Year-round, yeah.
So let's dive in. You ready?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. How can the community get more involved in supporting local veterans, especially during Veterans Day,
Sure.
but beyond as well?
You know, Veterans Day is one of those really special days out of the year, especially if you are a veteran. I'm a veteran of the Army myself. And, you know, when you have a day like Veterans Day, the parade is nice. It's great. We encourage everybody to come out. There's always one in Bend through downtown. There's one in Redmond. That's where our office will be. We'll be participating in the one in Redmond this year.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we try to rotate through. There's one in La Pine
Nice.
as well. So we've done, we cycle through and try to, be a part of all of the county as opposed to just the city in which where our main office is based. But, when you go to the parade and you wave and you say hi, veterans really appreciate that for sure. But it's not just limited to that hour that you see them in the parade, Everybody here has the freedoms that we have, has the life that we have, because every veteran who ever signed that blank check with their life to kind of protect that right and those freedoms that we have, that we cherish so much. So when you see somebody out, and this is what I always personally do, is everybody likes to say, "Oh, thanks for your service," and that can be
ask you
kind
about that.
My go-to is thanks for my freedom. Because that's
Yeah.
really what it comes down to. Because, service can mean so many different things. It can be kind of vague and can kind of be, it's just a thing said and almost like, hey, how you doing? But if you really look at somebody and just say, hey, thanks for my freedom, that can really, really impact somebody in a different kind of way, and it kind of catches them a little bit.
I like that.
Yeah. A veteran,
I like that.
A veteran actually used to say that to me, and that's where I got it from. And I know it struck me, so I try to use that too.
Well, because you don't want it to be a throwaway, right?
Right. Exactly.
I mean, just something that's said.
Exactly.
Without having and sure, it means, I'm sure people appreciate it, but
Sure, it's nice to know that people have a moment to say something, but to have it actually be meaningful and strike a chord, I like that. Thank you for my freedom.
Well, what does I'm sure not everybody knows what a Veterans Services Officer does here at Deschutes County.
I didn't know what it was either until I started there.
So what does your day look like? I mean, you're talking to a lot of folks, veterans for sure, probably their families too.
A lot of families, surviving spouses, dependents, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So our office is we're open 5 days a week, but the VSOs, the Veteran Service Officers, we're actually in the office only 4 of those days. On Fridays, we're not in there. We have our admin person who stations the front, takes phone calls and sees people. So there'll always be somebody there Monday through Friday. But our day starts at 6 a.m. So we get in at 6, work all the way until our lunch hour.
That's veterans hours, man.
Exactly.
That's early.
0600, you know it. And then we're there till 4:30. So we work our 4 10-hour shifts Monday through Thursday. And so the first few hours of the day is spent kind of, going over emails, checking in on things that we were working on maybe the day before, checking the fax machine for medical records, that kind of stuff, and just working on the claims and the services that we provide to our vets. And then 8 o'clock rolls around, doors open up, veterans can start coming in and asking questions and that kind of thing. And then our appointments really start at 8:30. And most of us on a normal day will have 4 appointments. We'll have one around 8:30, one around 10, another around 1:30, another one around 2:30. and then doors close at 3:30, and then that gives us about an hour to kind of work on whatever we need to, if there's anything to work on, to kind of put it to bed for the day.
A lot of veterans here.
There's about 12 to 15,000 in Deschutes County.
Why do you think that is? Why so many here?
Oh, man. I mean, well, it's a very diverse area, right? Like Bend is different than LaPine, and both those are now different than Redmond. And so in Sisters is a thing all by itself as well. It's just a very different area in different spots of it, but it's also a very beautiful outdoorsy area. And one of the common themes for veterans you'll find is a love for the outdoors. I mean, not a lot of people join the military hoping that they get barracks duty or hoping that they're an admin. Now, that doesn't not to say there isn't admins out there who didn't like working in supply.
Easy on admin people. I work in administration here. Easy. Easy, buddy.
I'm an inside person now too. But this outdoors. Most veterans have a lot of outdoor stuff.
You.
So I think that's one of the reasons they like to be here and come here, because they can be in a busy area or they can be in a little bit more solitude if they want.
What do you think the main challenges are that veterans in Deschutes County face, and what do you and your team do to kind of help them overcome those? I know it's a big question.
It's a big question. I mean, there's a lot of things that veterans that face. It can be the most obvious ones like homelessness or, lack of income or, just trying to get ahead in the world and that kind of stuff. It can be things as challenging as mental health. It can be things as challenging as connecting with community, that kind of stuff. And so we try to really be open and available to provide resources or get people plugged in for all the different kinds of things. So whether it's something we do specifically or it's more of a, hey, we don't really tackle that, but I know who does. Let me get you to that person or that organization. So, we'll have a lot of veterans coming in talking about, hey, I'm trying to care for my husband who's a veteran and I'm his caregiver now. Well, I know who to talk to over at the VA medical clinic to help you guys get those resources to support that. Or, hey, I'm getting kicked out of my place. I don't know what to do. Well, we know where to send you. We can send you to Covo or Neighbor Impact, and we have contacts there that can help out with mortgage assistance or getting into a place or that kind of stuff. So we've got a lot of different challenges, but we're pretty good at getting you to the right spot.
You're kind of like their person.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. We're their inside guy.
I've got a guy.
Exactly.
I got a guy to fix my car. I got a guy to, help my
guy
house.
Does my taxes.
Yeah.
And I got a guy who call for VA. It's funny.
And not singling out guys, by the way. I mean, it could be both.
Absolutely.
But you get my point.
Yeah.
I got a person.
I say a large part of our day that isn't the structured appointments is fielding phone calls and questions from veterans that really we have nothing to do with. It's like, hey, I heard about this, or the VA said this, or something to that effect. I'm like, hey, there's like a million things the VA does, and we specialize in a couple of them, so we don't really do that one. But again, I know who does, so I'm glad you came to me. So they do think of us as, hey, that's my person. That's my homie there. I know I don't know what this is, and I'm not even going to take the time to figure it out because I know who already knows it, and we're going to call them.
Even if they're a U of O fan.
Hey, they like to make good choices. National championship coming.
Yeah, I hope so.
I'm hoping so.
It'd be good.
Yeah.
My boss would be happy. Let's dig into it a little bit for me. What types of services and assistance do you really dig into it for me and kind of explain what those services are for people? I know you're not necessarily always providing that. You're, like we talked about, connecting people, but what are those?
So our wheelhouse, what we really specialize in our office is disability compensation. And that's where if you have a physical or mental condition that stems from active duty service that you're still dealing with now, we help you kind of navigate that process of going to the VA, making your case, making your claim, as it's called, and hopefully getting approval from the VA for monthly compensation for that disability, whether that be hearing loss or mental health or a bad right knee or anything else really under the sun that we can show started in active duty. And we kind of walk you through that whole process, troubleshoot with you, game plan with you, strategize with you. We send in all the forms. You give us, you're going to sign a limited power of attorney. It only works for VA stuff, nothing else in your life. But you'll sign that limited power of attorney, which gives us the ability to send all that stuff into the VA for you and represent you to the VA. So we really specialize in that. In addition to the disability stuff, though, we also represent surviving spouses. So if the veteran's passed away and the surviving spouse needs some help, there might be benefits that she's eligible for or he's eligible for. So we assist with that. We assist with dependency stuff. So if you have a child or you get married and you want to add somebody onto your VA stuff as a dependent, we can help you get that stuff put in. Pension. which is another big one. That's if you are not necessarily wanting to claim a disability, but you're in a financial kind of hardship at the moment, and you want to see if the VA has anything for you, or that you're eligible for anything. We'll talk you through that process too, and walk you through what documents to get. So we really specialize in working with what's called the VBA, the Veteran Benefit Administration, which is different than the VHA, Veterans Health Administration, which is doctors, nurses, prescriptions. That's all separate, all under the VA umbrella. But it's two different organizations with different directors, different computer database systems, different eligibility requirements. They don't work together or share information at all, which makes no sense. If you went to the medical clinic on the east side of town over by Mountain View High School and you changed your address, I'd never hear about it because they don't share that information with us. So we really focus on VBA stuff. That's kind of what our main meat potatoes is.
All good stuff.
Yeah.
All good stuff. You love this, don't you?
I've been doing it for 8.5 years now.
I can just tell. So the meaning behind this work. Mm-hmm. I mean, you having served.
Yep.
Thank you for my freedom, by the way.
Thank you for your sport.
Talk about the meaning that this job has for you.
Oh man, so.
I mean, it's got to be a roller coaster ride.
It is. I mean, the job itself is a roller coaster, but for me, it goes back to when I first joined, which I joined 2 months after the towers fell. So 9/11 happened, and by November 15th, I think, I was signing my papers, and by February of the next year, I was in basic training. And so I was there, and my unit got deployed to Baghdad. They kept me home. It was rear detachment, unfortunately, to do stuff that needed to be done back at the base. But we were there in the thick of it all. My unit was, and we were training guys up, and we were hearing all the news, and it was just a very, very intense time. And so my service is really important to me. It's something that's a big part of my life and kind of shaped who I am. And then after that was over and I was discharged, you still keep that inside of you. It's still a part of who you are. But you go back into life and you adjust and you can do what you need to do. And I was working at COCC actually in the admissions office, helping students with education stuff. And I saw that this job came open back when Keith was the manager over there, and put in an application. He called me and we talked, and he made the mistake of hiring me, and they haven't figured it out since. So but you're right. When we go into our office, we can have a day where it's easy breezy and just having a fun conversation like this, talking about, hey, how was your service? How's your hearing? Oh, yeah, a lot of explosions. Or it can be something where there's some pretty horrific stuff we talk about and listen to. So one of the reasons we work the schedule we do is because having that third day off is really needed to, after having a tough week, which most weeks have some tough spots, hearing about what veterans go through, because that veteran's living with that, but we kind of shoulder at least a little bit of it with them when we kind of go through that claim process. And sometimes there can be more than 1, 2, 3, or 4 in a week that we kind of take on.
It's got to help them open up to you to have that, like that background, that history, the experience, to be like, hey man, I get it.
We're in it with
whatever.
you.
Yeah.
There's a couple people in our office who aren't veterans, but they've been doing this for so long that they've got it down and they know what it's like too, so they're able to jump right in it with us. It's one of the reasons we dress the way we do. If you come into our office, I'm wearing jeans and a hoodie right now, and I just came straight from the office.
It's really bright green.
It's very bright green. I
keep bringing it up. It's because it's right in.
I was going to wear a yellow one and be brighter, but we don't want somebody coming in and seeing me in a suit because they're like, just another VA guy, and we try to make things at ease, and we just really want them to connect so that, because there's been plenty of times where I've had a vet in my office talking about a hearing loss situation, and 45 minutes into it, all of a sudden that's when the PTSD question pops up because he feels comfortable bringing it up.
You mentioned the word connection. Let's talk about how do you stay connected with veterans? Because I would imagine that's part of the challenge too.
Yeah.
Sure, they might come into your office and deal with stuff, but then kind of developing that relationship, that rapport with them, and then reaching back out is probably just as important as the initial meeting.
Absolutely. One of the biggest hindrances to our office's existence is people don't know we're there. People don't know what a VSO is. We have people still coming in on the daily from Vietnam era. There's much more few and far between now just because of sheer age, but we still have World War II vets coming in. But it's not uncommon a couple times a week to hear from people. I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't know who you guys were. I tried to do it myself a long time ago, and it didn't work, and I got frustrated, said, screw it. I wish I would have known you guys were here 20 years ago. It's a thing we hear all the time. So we try to do a lot of outreach. We'll do things like this. When this popped up, immediately we jumped on it. We just had to figure out who was going to come do it, whether it was me or somebody else in the office, but we knew we were going to do it. But we have outreach stuff. We're going to do the parade so people see our car, and they see us waving and throwing out candy or whatever we're allowed to do, because those stupid rules change all the time. But we want people to know we're here.
Yeah,
for sure.
Right. I mean, we see you at the fair, and you're trying to do your best to get the word out. Do you stay connected with them? Obviously, phone, email, text. I mean, like what?
We don't have the text because the county doesn't allow us because we don't have. Yeah, but on our business cards, we have our fax machine, our personal emails, our direct number. We have the front desk person who fields phone calls all day long. A lot of phone calls coming in. Sometimes there's a little delay in getting back just because of the sheer number of voicemails. Because if a veteran comes in, she's standing there talking. She does an awesome job. Tara's amazing. But a veteran comes in and she's talking to him. The phone's ringing. She's got to then go back to get that one, which sometimes those conversations, as you can imagine, vets like to tell stories, which as they should. So those conversations can take a while, and phones ringing. There's going to be a few messages to get back to after that.
Are vets scared to come in? Are there misconceptions about the work that you do and the support that you offer, or what's
we really see them once they've kind of gotten past any fear they have, because we see them when they're there. But I've had plenty of conversations with vets at outreach things, whether it's a stand down at the VFW or an event over at the American Legion, or it's the fair, where people are like, oh, I don't really know if I want to do this. I don't want to take something from somebody else. I don't want to apply and then something goes away, or I don't really want to deal with this stuff. So it's not necessarily, at least in my experience, that there's been a fear of us. It's something that's holding them back. And we just try to assure them, look, you come see us. You're not obligated to do anything. You're never going to pay for anything because it's all of it's free. And if you ever get asked, as a sidebar, if a veteran ever gets asked to give up any kind of funding, whether it's the award from their disability claim or money out of their pocket, don't do it. Run away. That's illegal. It's called a pension poacher.
Yeah, I've heard.
It's a terrible, terrible thing. It's on the same level as people scamming old people out of their life savings. It's the same thing.
Yeah, that's
because
bad.
Everything that the VA offers is free of charge. You do not have to pay to get a claim done. Somebody who's going to charge you doesn't know any better than we do. We are trained highly by the Oregon Department of Veterans Affairs to know the Code of Federal Regulations, the United States Code, all those kind of things of how to file claims, what's needed, all that kind of stuff. So if you have concerns about those kind of things, like I said, you're under no obligation. Come see us. We're just here to have a conversation with you. We want to hear what's going on with you. We want to know kind of what's on your mind, the things you've heard, the misconceptions maybe that you think about VA and claims, and tell us your horror stories from the VA in the past. We get it. That's why we're here as a county person, not a VA employee, to navigate that process.
Is there, and I apologize if I'm getting this wrong, but can families themselves come in, not having been a veteran, to ask for help on behalf of somebody who might not be willing to come in? Is that perhaps a challenge that people come in or run into?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. We've had plenty of people who've called or come in to ask questions. Like you just brought up, I've had appointments where it's just the spouse or the child or something, calling for dad or for grandpa or whatever it might be. We will absolutely take that, and we'll sit and talk, and we'll give you all the information we can. At the end of the day, though, our responsibility and our loyalty is to the veteran. If the veteran's like, I don't want to do this, we're not going to do that. If there's some intricate workarounds, or there's something going on to where they're not thinking the way they might have 10 years ago, which age or things that happen to you can definitely alter your mental state. If there's things there that they're like, he would want to do this, then we'll have another conversation about it. But at the end of the day, it's his or her claim, it's his or her benefits, it's his or her service. We have to honor their stuff. So yeah, we'll talk to anybody about anything to do with what we do.
There's probably a lot of counseling involved in this, even though you're not, licensed counselors or anything like that. But you're obviously connecting them with services. That's the most important. But man, lots of emotions. A
lot of you're
in these
worth
conversations,
it.
right?
I do a lot of you're worth it. What you're doing is courageous, and it's all true because it is all true. I'm not just saying it to make them feel better or saying it to be a nice guy. The veterans are worth everything that they have come into them and more. Like I said at the beginning, they signed a blank check with their life, and I don't see a lot of other people doing that. And so everything that the VA offers that they're entitled to, they have already earned. And so sometimes they just need to know that about themselves. And I personally take that on, and I will look them dead in the eyes and say, hey, this is yours. You are worth this. This is something you've earned. Don't shy away from it.
AJ Middleton's here with us. He's a Veterans Services Officer with Deschutes County Veterans Services. Want to ask you this question.
Yeah.
Are there any lesser known resources or programs? You talked about some, but anything that you'd like to highlight that maybe people don't know about that you guys do?
So in our office, we have kind of what I lined out before with help you with a disability claim, that kind of stuff. But there are community resources that we get a lot of frequent questions on, like, kind of what housing is a real big one. What do I do about housing? And we have a partner that we work with a lot in Bend. They're called COVO, Central Oregon Veterans Outreach. They're located on the south side of town, right across from Fred Meyer. Awesome place. JW is a former Master Chief in the Navy. He's just a fun man to talk to. But they do a lot of things with housing. So they have their own veterans village. They own many apartments around town that they're able to lease out to veterans. And obviously you want to talk to them about regarding the intimate details of that kind of stuff and eligibility and that kind of thing. But it's a great resource. So if you're having questions about what do I do for help with rent, help with mortgage, help with a place to live, that kind of stuff, COVO is a great place to start. Plus they'll have the ability to help furnish a lot of the places they put you in because they take donations year round and that kind of stuff. Plus they go out to like the homeless camps and they help the veterans out there as well.
What advice would you give to a veteran who's thinking about coming in, might be a little hesitant? Is there anything that you would tell them?
Don't wait.
Don't wait.
I've never, ever had a veteran come in and be like, yeah, I came in too soon. That's never been said. But I've had hundreds, if not thousands, over my time doing this, of veterans come in and say, man, I wish I would have done this sooner. Or a wife's poking him in the side with her elbow or slapping him on the shoulder, being like, why didn't we come do this earlier? I told you to.
Yeah,
I didn't want to. Dude, suck it up and get in here.
Make it easier, right?
Yes. Suck it up and drive on and drive yourself in here because, like I said, damn it, you're worth it. And you should be here so we can help you. And maybe there's nothing. Maybe you come in and it's not going to happen for you. But that's okay. At least you now know. And you don't have to sit back and be like, man, should I have? I wonder what would have happened. Come in and let's talk.
Yeah, you figure out your path, right?
Absolutely.
Your steps.
And maybe, like I said, maybe it leads to, hey, there's nothing you're eligible for at this time. Maybe down the road, and we can talk about that then. But right now, you're just doing your thing, and that's all that's there for you. But hey, I'm glad you came in, and we know that.
So repeat for us, Veterans Day, Monday.
Monday, it's always the 11th.
And you're going to be at
the Redmond Parade. We'll be driving our county car through the Redmond Parade, waving and honking and that kind of stuff. The contact info's on the side and the back of the car.
So please say hi.
We will say hi, yell, shout, give us a call. But we'll be there, and then next year I think we'll probably be either doing the Lapine or the Bend Parade. But like I said, we cycle through every year.
Well, happy Veterans Day.
Well, happy Veterans Day to you, veteran of the podcast.
That's true.
With your dad vest on.
And I do. Great. And I'm not even a dad.
Looks like you're going to put me in timeout.
I know. You're calling me out. You're calling me out. Veteran Service Officer AJ Middleton, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
If you have questions about veteran services, what resources they provide, and how to get connected, Deschutes.org/veterans is the place for all veteran services information. They have services in Bend, Redmond, and Lapine. Please check the website for appointment information for Redmond and Lapine. Remember, you can listen to us wherever you listen to your podcasts. Make sure to click that follow button, and you can drop us a review, drop us a rating. We'd really appreciate it. You can also find us at Deschutes.org/podcast. But until next time, please be safe out there.